You're listening to Indiana Originals Radio, leading local living.
I'm going back to Indiana now.
Welcome back to the first day on 93 WIBC. It is Terry Stacy, and in studio with us is the belated birthday girl, Mel McMahon with IndianaOriginals.com. Hello, Mel.
Good morning, Terry.
I hope you had a good birthday.
I got so many treats on my birthday. It was wonderful.
You know, a lot of those treats came to the station. I won't tell you how many or if you got them all, but a lot of those treats came to the station. You may think, I always think of Mel as like Drew Barrymore. You know, you think Drew Barrymore must be at least, 50 years old because we've seen her forever and we've heard her forever. And she's really like just turned 30. And so Mel's the same way. You think Mel has been around. She's been on a list of like, up and comers and she's really just like 30.
I started on the air here when I was 23.
Yeah.
That was a
Just a
long
kid.
time ago.
I know it. Just a kid. It was a long time ago, but she really is just like 30.
Oh, you're sweet.
Anyway, we're glad to have you, and I don't want to take up any more of your time because you brought a familiar face to all of us. And, you go ahead. You make the introduction, and I'm going to eat the donuts.
Well, I'm so excited to introduce today's Indiana Originals member, Lee Marcum of Jack's Donuts.
Yay!
Welcome.
Good morning, guys. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for bringing gifts.
He's one of the most generous people, if I may just step in for a moment, but he's one of the most generous with his donuts of anybody else, you can compare him to. I mean, he's always up front delivering freebies, always.
You have to put the product in people's hands.
Yeah.
That's what we always say, is that when you go somewhere, you are expected as the donut person that you always have to have donuts or don't even show up.
What happens if you don't have donuts with you?
Luckily, we've got enough locations now where if you forget, there's somewhere close you can stop by to grab some right before you come in.
Yeah. Well, and let's talk about that. So Jack's Donuts got started in Newcastle,
Yeah,
correct?
1961 by my grandfather, Jack the First. I'm actually Jack the Third. I just go by Lee. I think that's what happens when your parents get divorced when you're really young. Your mom doesn't want to call you by your ex-husband's name. Maybe that's it. I don't know, but I've always gone by Lee. But people still call me Jack, and that's okay. But started in 1961 by my grandfather. My dad, Jack the Second, bought it in 77. And he ran it till 2007. About 2002, he was going through a really nasty divorce, not with my mom, but with another woman, his second wife. And I wanted nothing with the donut business at all. I graduated from high school in 2000, and I was forced to work there all through high school. I got fired a couple times by my dad. And I wanted absolutely nothing to do with Jack's Donuts at all. It was just one store. It was in Newcastle at the time. And I thought, thanks, but no thanks. So I was going to school to study computer science. And I actually know nothing about computers. I mean, I can't even install spyware or anything like that. But I studied. And in 2002, my dad was talking about wanting to sell it. He was going through a bad divorce, and he needed somebody to kind of come in and steady the ship a little bit with all the chaos that was going on in his personal life. So I put my life on hold. Came in, really started helping him out because he knew he could trust me. I knew how to do everything, and he knew he could leave his store and not have to worry about somebody stealing, somebody not doing what they were supposed to do. So I came in, did it, and kind of ended up starting to fall in love with it. And I remember a Sunday night I was making donuts, and he called me because he'd been trying to sell it for about 2 years. In 2004, he called me. It was a Sunday night. I'll never forget it. He said, hey, he goes, I found somebody that's got the cash that wants to buy the business. And I was like, really? And he said, yeah. And he said, I think we're going to sell it. And I said, okay, cool. So I hung up with him, and for whatever reason, I just did a complete 180 in my mind. I mean, it was instantaneous, and it hasn't changed since, where I just got this awful feeling in my head like my destiny was about to be sold. So I called him. It was really within about 10 minutes, and told him, I said, hey, I might be interested in this. Is that okay? And he was like, well, that's kind of been my dream. But he never, ever forced me into doing it. Never told me that. He always let me do my own thing. I played music for a while, did that. I don't really like being told what to do. So when you're in a band, you're kind of like a family, and I don't like being told what to do. So that didn't work out well for me because I like to have the final say on things. And this was kind of where it was. So I called him, and it took about 3 years. And finally, once his divorce was done in 2007, I bought it, and we had a great product, but it was just a horrible, horrible business plan. So being new, I think I was 24 at the time, 23, 24, new business owner. owner, I was really scared to make any changes at all in regards to things. I thought, well, let's ride it out. Maybe it'll turn itself out. And kind of the oldest saying in the book, you can't keep doing the same thing and expect, different results. It doesn't work that way. So in 2009, my wife got pregnant, and I realized that if I don't change things fast, we're going to go out of business soon, because we were just bleeding money. So my wife getting pregnant really kind of gave me the guts to do what I needed to do. So I just went in one day, Monday morning, and fired half the staff like that. I hadn't even fired anybody at that point. Fired half of them. We used to do a lot of wholesale, gas stations, grocery stores. We had over 50 at the time. I called all of them Monday morning and said, we're not coming to you anymore. We were only open 4 or 5 hours a day, retail, and we started staying open all day long, let all the dead weight go, and we made a lot of changes. Honestly, we totally changed our business in 48 hours and everything we had done.
As a new entrepreneur, what finally gave you the guts to make those changes?
It was my wife being pregnant. I mean, that's really what it was, because I knew that she was relying on, call it old-fashioned, but being the man, I felt like that I had to do it, and I had to push it. And I did it because we were never going to go hungry. But I also knew that it was going to be a lot rougher if I didn't do what I needed to do. So that really changed everything in regards to, I just didn't care anymore. I was going to do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. If we were going to go down, I wasn't going to go down without a fight. I mean, I'd rather, another old saying, I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. It was either kill or be killed at that point. So I was called every name in the book when we canceled all these accounts that we'd had for 30 plus years. I was called every name in the book from all these staff members that had worked for my dad for 10, 15, 20 years. And you talk about school of hard knocks really, really fast.
As a new entrepreneur, how do you separate that personal from business? Or were you able to?
A lot of sleepless nights where I felt bad. There were a lot of nights before that where I would sit up and wonder if the car was going to get repoed, because I was having that much trouble paying my bills at the time. And I still didn't have the guts. But when my wife was pregnant, I just like, you know what? Screw it. I don't even care anymore. I did not care what anybody thought of me at that point forward. And I still don't to this day. I mean, as long as I have their respect in regards to the people that we do business with, as long as I have their respect and as long as I have my integrity, that's all I care about. Anything else, if you don't like me for personal reasons or you think I'm running this company in the wrong way, I really don't care, because I'm going to do whatever I have to do.
So fast forward to 2016, you made the changes that you need to.
We did.
And now we're seeing Jack's Donuts everywhere.
Everybody's talking about the one coming downtown.
Yeah, it's actually open.
Is it open?
Yeah, it's open a few weeks ago.
Okay.
135 West Market Street, right in front of the State House. It's been open for almost a month now, and it's doing fantastic. We have that one. We have one that opened in Avon not long after it. So we opened 2 within 11 days. We opened one in Avon. We have one in Carmel, Fishers, Greenfield, the original one in Newcastle, and we have one in Muncie. And we're working on a handful more that we're going to have knocked out within the next 6 to 8 months.
Well, and what an exciting time for Jack's Donuts, and just being an Indiana original and spreading the word that, hey, you can make it work. You can change your business plan, and you can be successful.
You have to believe in yourself, and it is. It's live on your knees or die on your feet. And I was gonna die to make this work, and it worked out well. And we've had bumps in the road. We've had headaches. Do you follow Gary Brackett on Instagram? Mm-hmm. Gary Brackett has inspirational quotes every morning, and I tell you what, that gets me ready to kick butt and take names every single morning, because that's usually the first thing I see, because we get up about the same time and I see that stuff. But that's the stuff that I live and breathe by, because it's just about getting up and knocking the world on its butt every single day. I've had a lot of conversations with him, talking to him about business, and it's been a blast. And so many great entrepreneurs around here that we all talk, we all communicate, we all try and learn from each other. And that's really what you have to do. Is a lot of people perceive as what I do as maybe having a big head. That's not the case at all. I will talk to anybody that will let me talk to them about turning business around. That's what I did when I turned mine around in 2009. It's all about being an Indiana original TM. How's that?
I like that.
Awesome.
Thank you.
But you got to do what you got to do.
Listen, it is always so good to see you, Lee. And if I may just say this too, that it is also about the people that you have working in the stores.
1,000%.
Because every time I go, whether it's Greenfield or wherever I go, it's like their family. They're just really awesome people. You should know that too.
I never get sick of hearing that, and you're exactly right. It's about surrounding yourself with good people, and that's what you have to do.
They're terrific.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you guys. IndianaOriginals.com. Mel, anything else before we let you go?
Don't forget to download the Indiana Originals app.
We'll see you next week on 93 WIBC.
Thanks for listening to Indiana Originals Radio. Check us out at 93 WIBC Sunday mornings at 1045.
I'm going back to Indiana.
And visit IndianaOriginals.com to find local businesses near you. Indiana Originals, leading local living.